What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Kings related podcast, wherever you may be. And this post-game recap where the Sacramento Kings have won their third game in 4 tries with a win down in Los Angeles over the Los Angeles Clippers. But first, thank you as always for joining me for another edition of the show. And if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you give us a follow over on Apple Podcasts or whatever your favorite podcast platform is. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. The Sacramento Kings, they continue their hot streak here as of late towards the end of this regular season. Again, tonight with their third win in just 4 tries with the victory over a Clippers team that did not play well tonight on the offensive end or the defensive end of the floor. That may have been because they were on the second night of a back-to-back, having played last night against Chicago. And it was another game for Sacramento where the Kings looked like they had one of their best games of the season, which isn't saying very much for a team that's won 17 games now on a dismal season. But it is hard to argue that they haven't been playing some of the best ball of the season as of late. And as fans, this is not exactly what we want to see right now. We want to see this team lose as many games possible for the draft lottery. And with 14 games left on this season, and with the Kings having an easy schedule down the stretch, the lottery odds are in danger of falling even more for this team. But it is what it is. And this Kings team, what we've seen under Doug Christie, they're going to fight. And they showed it once again tonight that they are going to fight. And that's what we've seen from this team under Doug Christie since he took over last season as the interim head coach. And this team is going to fight for every win, no matter what the talent discrepancies there is between Sacramento and the team that they are facing. And the Kings got some help in the health department tonight when Kawhi Leonard went down with a sprained ankle. But even before, the Kings had control of this game for majority of this contest, and that's something we haven't seen much at all this season for the Kings. But some of the takeaways from this game tonight is, are we seeing the front court of the future for this Sacramento Kings team? Because it can't be overstated enough. The Kings starting front court had an absolute masterclass tonight against the Los Angeles Clippers. And we're talking DeMar DeRozan, Maxime Reynaud, and Precious Achiuwa, who combined, the three of them combined for 75 points tonight on 80% shooting from the field. Absolutely incredible from those three guys. And the one negative I would point out was Maxime Reynaud wasn't on the floor late in the game. I would have loved to see Max on the floor late in the game for Doug Christie and this team. And the three of them were 32 of 40 from the field tonight. Absolutely incredible. I thought they attacked the rim over and over again. They got out in transition to get those easy buckets. They were even passes from big man to big man that showed some of the best ball movement that we've seen from this Kings team all season long. And with the off night that Max had against the Hornets on Wednesday night, like, he is a future rotational piece at worst on this Kings team. You can make the case that Max is the future starting center on this Sacramento Kings team at best. But Precious Achiuwa, he continues to make his case for an absolute bigger role for next season. I would love to see Precious back on this team next season. I think Precious could help a contending team right now in the West or in the Eastern Conference. And if Scott Perry could bring Precious back for next season, I wouldn't mind that. I would love to see him back in Sacramento next season, either for us or another team if he leaves this offseason and free agency, because Precious Achiuwa, he's playing some of his best basketball right now of his career, should I say it for the least. And he is a huge part of this Kings resurgence, should I say that, as we are coming to the end of this absolute dismal season that is of Kings basketball that has not been fun to watch. But Precious has been a bright spot on this team, and him and Reynaud, they are kind of forming a great front court partnership as this season comes to an end. And it's fair if we can start to ask if this could be a duo for the Kings of the future for next season and maybe beyond. Let's talk about the vets. You got Russell Westbrook, who joined DeRozan as the other key vet to show out tonight in this win against the Clippers. Russell Westbrook finishing with a triple-double. I believe that's his 209th triple-double in his career tonight. Both Westbrook and DeRozan, they both continue their strong play. And compared to when this team was filled with veterans, they complement the young players on this team. They provide the leadership and the scoring for this team, and that works for everyone out there on the floor, and both are contributing to wins when the team does win. And that's the type of wins you can build on as a franchise, and they are helping lead that charge with the young guys. I wouldn't mind if Zach LaVine is traded this offseason, and even if Sabonis is traded this offseason. That would not shock me to the least if both those two were traded this offseason. But if we look at some of the stats tonight for the Kings in this game, you have just an absolute stunning victory for the Sacramento Kings in this game. Unexpected, because nobody thought the Kings will win tonight. Like, they led as many as by 20 points against a Clippers team that came in red hot, playing much better ball here as a down the stretch to try to get into that play-in in the Western Conference. And this is a bad loss for the Los Angeles Clippers because you should not be losing to teams like Sacramento. But Precious Achiuwa, again, showing the league that he is a professional ball player. He aggressively attacked the Clippers front line all game long, hammering dunks, dropping three-pointers, on his way to 25 points, 10 of 14 shooting to go along with 13 rebounds and 4 blocks tonight for Precious. Absolutely incredible night. Maxime Reynaud, again, off night on Wednesday night against Charlotte. Max continued. He bounced back to continue his breakout rookie season by running circles around former All-NBA defender and fellow Stanford player Brook Lopez. He hit a dunker spot, and he was lively in that pick and roll, finishing 23 points, 11 for 12 shooting from the field, also 5 rebounds. And it also makes a big difference having Russell Westbrook back out there for Maxime Reynaud, because those two guys have created really nice chemistry together. And we saw it in that game in Charlotte. Well, with Russ not out there, it was a bit difficult for Max. So those two guys have really created nice chemistry out there on the floor. And speaking of Westbrook, it was just another vintage Russell Westbrook night, as he had a little extra juice against his former team in the Los Angeles Clippers, and he stuffed that stat sheet tonight. 12 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists to go along with 4 steals in this game. And he had a few turnovers in his column, and his shooting numbers weren't that great tonight, but it was just another solid vintage Russell game for the future Hall of Famer. And like Westbrook, you had a vintage DeMar DeRozan performance in this game, and he looks like he's 10 years younger playing with these young Kings in these games. And he hit in one jumper after another in this game on his way to 27 points, 11 of 14 shooting from the field. He also chipped in 7 assists for the vet, DeMar DeRozan. Two-way player, Daquan Plowden. I wouldn't mind if he's on this team next year. He's got great potential as a two-way player in this league, and he's taking full advantage of this opportunity. And Plowden's path to long-term success in the NBA is very simple. He needs to play defense, and I like how he plays defense here as of late, and hit those threes if he wants to have success up here at the NBA level. And that is exactly what he did tonight against the Los Angeles Clippers. 15 points, 3 of 4 from downtown, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals for Daquan Plowden. And one notable mention, undrafted rookie Dylan Cardwell was back tonight from his ankle injury. It was nice to see him out there on the floor, and it looked like he was playing his first game back from an injury. And after missing 11 games with that injury. He struggled with the speed of the game early, and that led to plenty of fouls for Dylan Cardwell in this game. He went scoreless, but he did grab 6 rebounds in about 13 minutes of action. But, this is only win number 17 on the season for the Kings. 118 to 109, the final score. And I know it's not what we want to see because it does hurt the lottery odds. But you don't want to be like these teams like Utah, Washington, Brooklyn, these other teams who are unethically, purposely tanking and wanting to lose games. You don't want to be like those games. And who knows, the Kings could get lucky in the lottery and somehow move up in the top 3 or top 4. But it doesn't get any easier tomorrow night because on Sunday night, the Kings are back home to take on the Utah Jazz. And looking at that injury list, you got Ace Bailey out, you got Keontae George out, Filipowski's out, Marketing's out. That could be another win if we're not careful. This game was unexpected to win because the Clippers did not play well at all in this game. So Kings win down in Los Angeles at the Intuit Dome. Kings back in action tomorrow night at home to take on the Utah Jazz. We will be back for another post-game recap following that game. Thanks for tuning in. And if you enjoy this podcast, make sure you give us a follow on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast platform is your favorite. And we are a video podcast on Spotify and YouTube. So by all means, please catch the video feed. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. But until next time, we will see you tomorrow night following the Jazz and the Kings for another post-game recap. So thank you as always for joining me on the Kings related podcast. And as always, go Kings and light the beam.